Howdy guys, so I'm doing the super flat world challenge, which is to see how far you can make it on a super flat world. Kind of like Skyblock in some ways, hi horse. You get a lava source, but not the bucket, and some blaze rods. So I went ahead and equipped a world with these things, and you get the starter chest, and go from there. See how far you can make it. So without further ado, let's get started. So I started a creative world and just went in and equipped it with the things that I needed. And this whole idea stems from a guy named Danrobzprobz on YouTube. And I saw one of his videos and I said, man, I'd like to try that. And I had come up with a similar idea once before and I didn't think you could make it very far. However, oh yeah, I forgot to mention you get a cauldron. So the cauldron will fill up with rainwater if given time, if it rains out. And instead of a water bucket, you get a cauldron. You could theoretically start with just the blaze rods and the lava source and still make it, but it would take forever to come up with enough iron to come up with, a cauldron. So, first thing is protect. Now I'm on the survival world. Now, it's on survival hard, and I'm going to play through on that. And if I die, it's okay. I'll keep playing. It's not like the end of the world if I die. First thing is a crafting table, and I've got some saplings out of the starter chest, and wood becomes all important for starting off on this adventure. And the other thing is I need some tools, and I need to go hunt some food. So a sheep for a bed, for the wool, and of course lots and lots of beef, because it doesn't do very much when you eat, a raw steak, and there's no way to cook it initially. So here we go with lots of killing sheep and cows, and a few chickens and pigs too. Just why not? They were in the way. So kind of slow starting off on one of these worlds, but it's really a great feeling when you get some big accomplishments done. The other thing I'm going for is leather armor at this point because I need it to protect myself. You can sleep. It's not like some worlds where they won't let you sleep. It's fine, you can sleep, but there's real incentive to stay up because there's so much loot that you need to get at night by killing mobs off. So some more cows, some more leather, some more steak, and got my first tree. And now I can start replacing the tools because I'm already wearing these out. Wooden tools last no time. It's terrible. All right, so that's my second tree, and it's already starting to get towards evening, but it takes time for trees to grow. So one of the first goals is to just set up some sort of perimeter where the mobs can't come and attack you at night. Some place to run to if you're getting beat up. That's preferably out of archer range. Now I could just build a dirt house or something like that, but then Enderman can come and steal blocks from you. So I decided to go ahead and set up this fence around a pretty good sized area. And still struggling with wood resources. I don't have very much at this point. This is still just day one, so it's going to take me a couple of days to get this wrapped in. And I guess it's something like a 40 by 40 area. It might be a little bit bigger than that, but I use some of the wool for carpet so I can get over the fence pretty easily. And it's just cutting trees, and starting to get quite a few saplings, and that's good. So here it is, the end of day one. Now, I don't have but 4 torches, so I'm just going to scatter those around as best I can, just to give myself a little bit of light. Now, I am going to sleep here, so the most important thing, I think, if you're looking for loot, is to just stay there and let the mobs spawn in. And then as soon as they spawn in, go ahead and go to bed. When you get up in the morning, just stay in one spot. Don't move around because it'll cause them to despawn, like further off. To just stay in one spot, let them burn up, and then go get all their loot. Because like the bones and the arrows are really important at this point. Because I don't have a bow, don't have a source of arrows. There's no source of flint whatsoever. So just mob drops are how you get your arrows. The bones are really important because for fertilizer and making your plants grow, making your saplings grow, and making crops grow. So first thing I need is some wheat seeds or grass seeds or whatever they call them, and so you just go ahead and you know this trick. Everybody knows this trick. Just bone meal the grass, and there you go. You get some seeds. The flowers I'm also keeping because I can compost those down and make bone meal out of those. I'm going to need a composter to make that happen and make a hoe so this way I can plant some of them. And they can be planted dry. You don't actually have to hydrate the block. The main thing is, as soon as you hoe the piece, go ahead and plant the piece, because if you get too far ahead with the hoe, then they'll start converting back to dirt, and you won't be able to plant the seeds in there. So just, just keep going with the hoe until you have the same number of seeds. All right, so next thing is a composter, and okay, that's for all the flowers. Dump those in, and maybe I get some bone meal out of this deal. So I had this wild idea that maybe I could just go ahead and bone meal the crops, and then I could take the seeds, the extra seeds, and put those in the composter, kind of, except it didn't give me any seeds. So maybe I'll just have to replace that with this guy, and it gives me 1 seed. And it's like, okay, well, this isn't working, so that was kind of a bum deal. I won't do that again. I'll stick with flowers. That's a better source. Now, you can also repair right in your inventory a tool that's got some wear on it by combining 2 together. So I, again, slept through the night and waited for everybody to despawn, or not despawn, but burn up. And this guy got stuck underneath this tree. So I'm hoping, like, at this point, the most important thing that I need is iron. I need 3 iron ingots to get the ball rolling with water. And the cauldron also has to have some rainwater in it. So I'm going after string. Hopefully I get some string from this guy. And that creeper starts tracking me. It's like, oh no. It's like, come on string, no string, none. So Wandering Traitor spawns in. Now this guy is really important. He, sugarcane and all that, but I don't have any emeralds. There is a way to get emeralds, and before you even have a villager, and that's to kill the Vindicator, the Johnny Axe guy. But they're not that real common, and the problem in a flat world is that they spawn in, and they're doing like 100 miles an hour, and they're walking along, and they're just off screen before you can even get to them. Not to mention they're a pretty tough mob, so not somebody you want to tangle with. Especially, he's got like 3 crossbow friends, so waited for everybody to burn up, and now this guy stayed alive because he turned into a tree. No, wait, he hid behind a tree. Well, your antics. Alright, so kill him off, and I got a leather helmet out of the deal. They don't burn up if they're wearing a helmet. So here we got another spider. Maybe I'll get some string from this guy, and eventually, once I get some water, then maybe I can do some fishing too. So I got 1 or 2 string out of that deal. But a bow is going to be right important because, yeah, who wants to walk up to a creeper and club it when you can shoot him with an arrow? So I got this bright idea that I would make the entire perimeter here mob-proof by path blocking all of the dirt. Unfortunately, I'm using up shovels left and right because they're wooden shovels. And I've already broken one and working on another one, just doing that strip there, and I got to do this whole thing. It's like so there's a zombie that spawns in here, and I got to go club him because I'm afraid he's going to take out that merchant on the off chance that I actually come up with an emerald. Now, I have noticed this once before. You can occasionally get a water bottle from the merchant just by clubbing him and killing him as he's got that invisibility potion in his hand. I've had that happen like 3 times, but I wasn't going to try for it because I really don't need an invisibility potion right now. So again, just wait for everybody to cook off. And now I'm after gold too. Gold because I'm going to need to make a golden apple to be able to cure a villager. And you can collect all this armor that these guys drop and smelt it down. That'll happen after I get a cobblestone generator going. So yay, finally got some string out of that deal. Hang. I didn't get any armor off the first zombie, but I did get some off of that guy there. And I'll just hang on to that. I might wear it if it's got some pretty decent enchantments, but I don't want it to break, so I'll take it off before it's fully broken. And kind of just run around killing mobs. And this guy's got a golden helmet too, so I go after him. And can I get it? Oh, he's got an enchanted bow too. And boom, come on, there you go. Drop both of them. Good deal. The bow's not that great, but that's one way to get enchanted bows is from the skellies. So I decided to build a mob farm, and I've never built a dry mob farm before, like without water pushers. So I'm kind of just thinking outside the box here, and I thought, well, what might work is just basically an inverted pyramid and trapdoors to fool the mobs into walking down and down and down, and eventually they'll come to the center and then fall down the chute. So I'm 21 blocks up, which that's a survivable fall for most mobs. Once in a while, a spider will die for whatever reason. They're dropping off the ceiling or something, but that's okay. So I'm 21 up and dropping. So I guess I'm 20. Yeah, I'm 20 with the block that they land on. So I'm going to go ahead and make the drop chute. So I need to make some trapdoors, and instead of going up and down, I just make a crafting table and drop it up here. This way I can work off of that. So one thing I should have done here that I noticed later on was I should have put basically a couple of blocks to cause the zombies to really want to track across the middle instead of just like staying on the perimeter here, which I'm building now. Because they tend to walk around in circles up here instead of dropping in. But not much I could do about it. I didn't want to go back up there and have a creeper land on my head. So I did not fix it. So the farm is quite a bit slower than what it could be. Eventually, I'll do a water pusher farm. The one bad thing is that this farm really can't be converted over to a water pusher farm. And I say water pusher, just basically channels that the mobs get caught in and washed down to a kill chamber. But this works. It gets me what I need, and that's all that really matters in the end. So I'm doing this, and then I get the bright idea. I'm wasting like blocks by dropping that extra block down. So I'll put a torch up here, and I'll shift, and I'll just go on the side of the torch. And not like that. Nope. No, we got to do that better. So, yeah, I have a stone axe there because that was in the starter chest. And I'm trying to use it quite sparingly because there's no way to replace it at this point. So the main thing here is to go 2 blocks up. So this way they can't track back up once they do drop down a level. And just keep going with that. So trapdoors, they don't have to be the entire thing. The trapdoors can just be in the corners or every so once in a while. And that works just fine. Just enough that they start pathfinding and drop down a level. And that seems to work just fine. I don't think that it needs any more than that, especially with everything being so hard to obtain with wooden tools. Like, I don't want to go overboard and have to get 1,000 trapdoors for this thing. So that works just fine. And also it helps you jump up a layer. And I got to hand it to Danrobzprobz because that's how I saw that. I was like, oh yeah, that does work. It's much smarter than having to tower up each time. So yeah, so I see that traveling merchant down there. So in some of these worlds, if flat worlds with a starter chest, when you start, you don't necessarily get oak. You can get acacia or jungle saplings. I think jungle saplings, but anyway, get a different type of sapling. The oak's really nice in that you can get apples, but it's kind of a roll of the dice on whether or not you wind up getting oak as your starter sapling. So I'm just putting the roof on now, and I'm putting slabs over top. It would be much, much better, much more effective if I could put leaves up here, but I don't have a source of iron to be able to get shears, so we're just putting down a solid ceiling and slabs on top to keep things from spawning on top of the mob farm. So I come down and sleep through the night because I don't want anything spawning up in there while I'm working on it. Yeah, that would be bad to have a creeper blow up in your face when you go upstairs. So I noticed, oh geez, so these guys are spawning in the back because it's in shadows. Thought, well, maybe I can get some stuff out of the deal here. Besides, I really don't want to get shot off of the ladder by one of these stupid skeletons. And then I think, well, maybe I can get a zombie versus skeleton fight going on. And I keep getting sniped through the mob farm, through that half block. But these guys are pretty good archers. They're pretty accurate. So they start fighting it out, and my money's on the zombie, and I lose. Yeah, the skeletons both win. So, all right, well, that didn't work, so now I got to figure out how to get to these skeletons without getting dead. But honestly, I'm not taking that much damage. I don't know why I was so wimpy here, because I just kept getting pegged over and over and over again. Should have just gone up and got him. But, alright, eat a little food, I'm going to go for it. Maybe. Let myself recover, and here we go, here we go. He missed, and they didn't miss that time. It's alright, they didn't drop anything worthwhile anyway. But this is, me before I got a bow, I think. Pretty sure I didn't have a bow yet. If not, I would have just pegged him. Alright, here we go. He missed that time. Let's get him. Got him. And I get myself an arrow and 2 bones. Thanks, guys. Alright. And then I fell off the top of the mob farm. And there's this guy down there who robbed my armor. And he's looking at me like, hey, I'm really, really sorry about your death, dude. And I go around. Fortunately, I've got a little bit of backup gear so I can equip myself to go get my junk back. Like I said, I'm not concerned about deaths in this world because I'm pretty good at not dying, and I'm playing on a tablet. And on that one, that was weird because I was actually in my inventory, and when I came out, I was in midair. So I don't know what happened, whether I was on the edge of a block or just walked forward as soon as I came out of my inventory or what the deal was, but I got splatted. So there he is, wearing my armor, and I got to get it back and all my junk back. Not very nice of him to steal my clothing, but maybe he got cold. All right, so back up onto the roof to finish that up, and I'll speed it up here and get that done. But still not any emeralds yet. I might have had one at that point where I traded for something, but no good trades were coming through on the traveling merchants. I just had to wait it out. It's just such a waiting game of when that's where I fell off at, that corner. And I don't know what the heck the deal was. There was one slab, so I was placing slabs when it happened. Now maybe I just walked right off the edge. But anyway, first death, that's not too bad. And it's not like my levels count for very much. I finally got my first piece of iron out of the mob farm. And this was like 30 days in. Like, that first piece of iron took forever before it showed up. And I was pretty happy with that. But now I still need 2 more. All these guys down this trench that I dug. And this is terrible. Look, that guy went right up the ladder. These mobs aren't supposed to be able to go up the ladder, but the other mobs pushed him. And in fact, okay, well, there's a skeleton in there. I got to take him out and take that creeper out. Once I do that, then maybe I can get to the other guys with the sword. And he climbs up the ladder again. That turd. Anyway, just pegging them. I'm wasting all these arrows on these stupid skeletons, and they only drop like 1 or 2. But I got to get that creeper out of there, and I just keep missing here. But it is what it is. Finally take out that creeper, and then now I can go kill the other guys. I'm just hoping for a piece of iron. And zombie villagers will occasionally drop iron as well, so hoping that one of these guys drops something good, and as usual, I get skunked. But I eventually got some iron going. The waiting game. So I get that stuff. And so what I did over here is I built another little roof just to get some more mobs going and just kind of lure them in using myself. And I built a little drop pit down there. The idea that I would eventually maybe make that into like a drowned pit. So I make a couple item frames to keep the iron in, just to display it, kind of remind myself like this is the goal and this is where I'm going. So yeah, I did get 1 emerald from that first pillager patrol that came through. And now the mob farm's working. But like I said, it's not real fast, but it does get the job done. And during the rainstorm, it did, in fact, fill the cauldron. Fill this bottle, but it's really not necessary now that I think about it. But at the time, it seemed to make sense. It's like I'll fill up the bottles and then I'll have a spare source of water. So then when it rains, again, I'll have my full water bottles. But it didn't matter anyway because I couldn't make a brewing stand without having stone. So I grew a giant mushroom there and had to repair that block afterwards. So I finally got three iron nuggets, or iron ingots, and now I can make a bucket. And now things start moving real quickly. It was kind of like a busy night for me. I got witches on the other side of me, and I got my iron. So I got the sugar, which that's really important too, because you need that to make the fermented spider's eye. I got sugar, I got water, and now I can start the stone generator. But then I thought, well, maybe I ought to just have more than one source of water. So I came up with this. Apparently it's common knowledge, but who knew? I came up with it on my own, and I was like, Mom's so smart. And I even did a little video on it, and then it's like, everybody knows this already. That's okay. I didn't know it. I've been playing 10 years, and I didn't know it. So what the heck? I'll show it again. Do this, and now that's a path block down the bottom, so I've got to break that and just replace it with dirt. I think probably a good idea that I did that, and then fill in with water from the top, and then I'll just bone meal, and I'll get some seagrass, break the seagrass, fill the bucket, and there you go. I got 2 sources of water out of 1. I thought that was pretty ingenious. So okay, now I want to make an infinite water source. Just make my little elbow and fill in the 2 waters, and now I can fill up my bucket indefinitely. Now, another way to get water is to get 5 emeralds and trade with the traveling merchant guy for a bucket of fish. But I did not come up with 5 emeralds. Just the pillager patrols were kind of rare. Mind my first piece of cobble, and it goes right into the lava. So I shift down and I belly right up to that, and I just hold on the piece of wood, because a wooden pickaxe is not going to break that piece of wood. Yay, I finally got 3 pieces of cobble, so the first thing I'm going to make is a stone pick so that this goes so much faster. And I can get rid of that stupid wooden one, which that was in the starter chest. I never even did make a wooden pick. So I'm going to mine it up to get myself a furnace, and the many things that I need. The grindstone, and the brewing stand. So I kept all these junk bows and junk wooden tools just before they broke. So this way I could use them for fuel, and I didn't have to make charcoal initially, but it's kind of a pain to keep having to put that in without a hopper to feed it. So I've made my drowned pit here. Now I need gold to make golden apples. That's to be able to cure the villager. Now I messed up and I accidentally hydrated or waterlogged the trapdoors here. So I got to go in, break the trapdoors, get rid of the water source there, and then make my little kill chamber. Which this works. I don't know if it's the safest design in the world, but it gets the job done. And I can walk down into here and actually see if a zombie is turned into a drowned. A cool thing about zombies, like if they come in and they're holding an iron tool or any sort of tool, and you kill them after they become a drowned, the tool will be full durability. Whereas if they drop it as when they're a zombie, it's junk. It's almost dead as far as its durability goes. So I've kept some of this enchanted armor, enchanted stuff that I can disenchant and then burn. Because then I don't feel so bad that the levels are getting burned up too. Not that I can use the levels, but anyway, why not? I spent the emerald on some sand and then cooked it down to get the glass for the bottles. So if you're wondering, that's where that came from. So now I'm going to start and get myself some fermented spider eyes so that I can get the potions brewed for the splash potion of weakness. I obviously have tons of gunpowder. It's not something that I can use, and I get tons of it out of the mob farm there. So put my brown mushroom in. There was 1 brown mushroom in the starter chest. If there hadn't been, I don't know what I would have done. I really just don't have a... What else would I have done? Maybe traded for one? I'm not sure. So down here getting some more gold from these guys. And of course you get skeletons in here too, but they don't seem to shoot you through the water very much. Maybe once in a while, but... And then I just shut the trapdoor and swim in, and I get the stuff. And I finally got another emerald. So there I am making the splash potions of weakness. Now somebody said, why don't you just tip your arrows? Well, the problem here is that the zombie villagers have already survived that fall of 20 blocks, so they're down to almost no health. I'm going to make my golden apple here and cure 1. So if I shot them with an arrow, it would just kill them, whereas if I throw the splash potion of weakness, then it doesn't kill them. So it's obviously much better not to kill the guy that you're trying to cure. So I noticed that I've got a zombie villager in here, but I've also got a ton of other mobs, so I'm going to have to be real careful that I don't swat his ankles while I'm killing these other guys. Now, one of them is wearing armor. That's a zombie, I think it was. So killing him, and he drops his helmet, and then the zombie villager picks up the helmet which is great for me because now he can't burn up in the sun. But I still want to be real careful here because I got creepers that could be dropping down on my head, and I want to keep this guy alive. Like, I want to do this once, and that's all. You know, I don't want to have to do this 6 times. Not that zombie villagers are that rare or anything. It's just like, I've got one. Let's do this right. So I'm going to try to lure him out of this kill chamber and keep him alive. So I'm lucky so far. I'll put a roof over his head so that he doesn't jump up when I put the bucket of water down. I'm afraid that he's going to escape, and I really don't want him escaping. I'm also really concerned, like, there's about to be a mob that comes popping down there and winds up seeing me and trying to kill me, so that wouldn't be good. I'm just in the nick of time I got that block in there because there's a zombie that would have seen me. So I'm going to go ahead and break this and pick up my water. Now I've got him penned in and nothing can get to him. I'm not completely sure that nothing can get to him through the corners, so I'm being just as careful as I can be. Like, once he's converted to a villager, I really want to protect him. So I'm going to go ahead and try this curing the villager out here. I don't do this very often, so let's see if I can pop him with a splash potion of weakness. And here we go. I'll aim up above him, and boom, I get myself too, but that's okay. And I'm a little concerned that I might die from it, so I eat the fish, which probably fooled you into thinking that I was eating the golden apple, but I wasn't. I got a golden apple. I was careful with it. There you go. And I go ahead and cure him. And I'm going to build him like a little room to go into, so this way he's away from the mob farm and not in the way over there. So just a cobblestone room for him worked just fine for now. Now, I also need, once he's converted to a villager, I'm going to need a bed for him. And then I realize I got to break all these workstations, because otherwise he's going to attach to one of these, and then we got the whole fiasco of villager attached to the wrong workstation. I realize, oh geez, it's going to be a dark spot there, so we're going to make some torches too. I really don't want zombies spawning in here and going and killing my villager just as soon as I get him cured, because that gold took me a while to get together. All right, so the grindstone too. So it was the cauldron, the grindstone, the composter, and the brewing stand. So, all right, now I'm ready to move this guy out. Cool, he is something. I don't know what he is, a blacksmith maybe? But I don't even know why he is what he is. Maybe it's just the way they spawn in as unattached to something villager, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. I just want to move him out. So I'm going to go ahead and kill these guys off so that they can't nibble on his shoulders through the blocks or something dumb like that. Get myself a little gold now that I don't need it. And I'm going to try to move this guy up safely without accidentally smacking him with my sword or something dumb, which I'm notorious for doing. There he is. He just walked up on his own. Like, okay, great. So I'm going to wall him in. Of course, he's right in between the blocks. So I'm just going to push him with a little water here. And he almost jumps out there, but he managed to stay in. I got it done in time. So, man, I got a villager. Now things can really, really start happening. I've got my water. I've got my villager. I've got a stone generator. And that's the end of the video. So, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day. And we'll see you next time. Like and subscribe.